Alright, hey everybody. As you can see in this video, I've got two hills right here planted behind me of sweet potatoes. You've probably seen the previous videos where I've started my slips in the basement. I thought that was going to be a failure, but I did have one potato that produced a bunch of slips for me. So today, what I did earlier, I didn't videotape the first two hills. I just kind of was outside piddling around and got that wild hair, and I just decided to jump right into it. So I've got a couple more slips, draws, whatever you want to call them, to put out. So I thought I'd show you what I do. Now I just finished harvesting my regular garlic from this patch right here. Literally just finished doing it 5 minutes ago. So what I've done is I've just, now as you've seen, I made a hill, okay? I haven't added any fertilizer. This is really good, fertile soil. As you can see, it's good and dark and holds a lot of moisture. It's some good stuff. So I just covered up those previous weeds, made a hill, flattening off the top of it, and I've got 3 more sweet potato slips that I need to get planted, and that is what we're going to do. So if you follow my videos on how to do your sweet potato slips, the only way that was actually successful for me was the putting them in the soil. I put them in that clear container, covered them with dirt, and then kept them watered, kept them really wet. That was the only way that was successful for me. I know I've seen there's other ways to do it. You can put the potato in the water, you can do this and that and the other, but they just didn't work for me. So, you know, if they work for you, that's great, but they didn't work for me. So what I ended up with were these sweet potato plants. And what you do is you take them, you want to put them about a foot apart. I only have 3 left, so I'm just going to evenly space them here. You put them down, you put your finger on the end, and you're just going to want to shove that slip in the ground as far as you can get it. I'd say that's about 5-6 inches down. I got 2 more right there. Now these will do just fine. All you got to do is you got to keep them good and watered. And we'll water these in as soon as we get them planted. You just take them like that, lay them on the surface, take your finger, shove them down real deep. And as long as these things get water, they will start taking off. Now sometimes they might take a day or two to really take off on you. And don't worry if you come out here and they kind of look like, you know, they're wilting a little bit and they're doing this, they're doing that. Don't worry about that. They'll take off on you. Just putting this up. We're getting ready to have a thunderstorm. I'm just trying to keep that barrier from falling over. So I got the slips put in the ground. You seen me make that hill real quick. Now all I gotta do is I gotta come by and water them. So I'm gonna go turn my water on and we're gonna get these things watered in. This garden hose has been sitting out all day. I gotta get some of this hot water off of it. I hope the audio is okay. It's super windy today. We're getting gusts of 25 to 30, so I got them watered in, or I've got them planted in real deep. Now I'm just gonna come by and water them. Now I'm just gonna kind of go around them like this, and I'm gonna come back because it's gonna take a couple minutes. It's definitely gonna take a couple minutes of watering to get this soaked in down to where I push that plant. Just want to get that soaked. I want those roots down there because there was a couple little roots on those plants. And I want to make sure that they've got plenty of moisture down there. We've got a 40% chance of rain every day this next week, and I'm really hoping we get it. But it'd be nice to get some good nitrogen and everything that comes from a good rain shower. You know, there's nothing like Mother Nature watering your garden. It really does way better than you can ever do with a garden hose, that's for sure. Watering these other ones that I planted a little bit earlier. It's really as simple as that. So then what I'll do is I'll come out here and water these every day early in the morning, and then I'll check on them again in the evening and make sure that they're still doing good. If they're showing any signs of drought stress, if they're sagging or if they're wilty, I'll give them another shot of water. After about a week or so, shouldn't have to do that anymore. They should really start taking off. And then what I'll do is I'll end up coming over and I'll hill these a couple times. I'll just pull dirt to them before the vines start really shooting out. While the vines are just kind of climbing up, you want to really bring dirt into them. The way these sweet potatoes are going to grow is where that base of that plant was, it's going to grow sweet potatoes straight down from there. These are going to vine out, and they're actually going to, where the vines touch the soil, they're going to shoot down roots, and they're going to start a little sweet potato plant there as well. They call those pin taters. They'll be a lot smaller, so when you dig this bed, or when I dig this bed up later, there's a good possibility that I'll have potatoes in other areas. And what I'll actually do is, when this vine starts taking off, I'll bury a couple of the tips of the plants within the row. That way I know where those additional potatoes are going to be, instead of just them being all random. So yeah, I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you're planting sweet potatoes this year. If not, make a plan on trying to get some in the ground for next year. Sweet potatoes are delicious, easy to grow at home as long as you can get your slips, and definitely a good crop, good nutritious crop, and it stores really well. So from my garden to yours, have a great